Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Lucid Trading. Just came back from a shower. As you guys see, the Nasdaq is dropping right now, about 1.5%. Nothing too worrying, though. It's not like the Nasdaq is falling 4 or 5%, and I personally don't think it will be dropping much more than what we have already seen. But yeah, welcome back to Lucid Trading, everybody. Welcome back to Daniel, Damson, Julian, Byro. Hit that like button. I would appreciate that a lot. Alright, let's see what is happening here. So, the Nasdaq is kind of looking a little bit bearish now, of course. You can see this here. It looks like the Nasdaq is breaching a very key support right at the 12,980s. And it's coming back down to the 12,960s. Very peculiar. Hold up. Let's see what's happening here. Oh yeah, the market is going to go open in about 27 minutes from here. It seems like XPeng is about to be going down a little bit further than what we thought. Seeing a lot of resistance here. Wow, Tesla is down another 3%. Said it was going to go up. It actually hit 700, 704, and then it came down, obviously, because we see that the Nasdaq is down. The Nasdaq is down because the yields are up huge, 5.5% to the upside, sitting at 1.738. This is the fastest run we have seen in yields, like in the last 10 years, probably. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the live stream. Welcome back to Lucid Trading, and good morning to everybody. Good morning to Hassan, JTH, Edwin, Toasted Sheep, Stephen Beck, Bernie, Leveling Up, K Bacon, Mint Blueberry. Welcome back, everybody. Good morning to you, Chili Sauce as well. I'm pretty much not scared of what's happening right now, guys. I would have to say. I think yields are going to be topping out very soon, and when that happens, of course, we're gonna see stocks going up really rapidly. I'm expecting a rebound here, actually. Expecting this to be rebounding once again, above the 13,000s. I don't think this is going to be worsening here, but we'll see how the open hours are going to be like. It will be quite interesting. Whew. Yeah, I am personally still getting used to the fact that we have this time shift now with Europe and America, where the markets open up 1 hour earlier here because time has gone forward in America. Kind of an interesting experience. That's why I'm live a little bit later. Every single time that I'm live later, I will also extend the live stream. So don't you worry about that. I lost an hour of sleep here in the US. Yeah, I saw this beautiful meme. It was like, give us our time back because we lost an hour of Bitcoin gains. Something crazy like that. It's hilarious. Bitcoin is about to skyrocket as well. I think a lot of those stimulus checks are going to be heading into the stock market. Let's use some proper trend lines here. There you go. I don't know if we can use this trend line, to be really honest, but last time we used it was right here. Let's see if it's going to work out. We're going to try to use this trend line. We're going to use it as much as possible. And yeah, if we have some bullishness coming in around open, that could definitely mean it would be rising back above the 13,000s, potentially going towards that 13,400 on the Nasdaq, which if that happens, of course, you'll see growth in tech stocks running really fast. I want to check the Dow Jones right now. Let me see if I can do that. Yeah, the Dow Jones is sort of sitting flat right now. It is not going down. Well, the S&P and... Well, let me just first take a look at the technicals here. Dow Jones actually looking quite positive here. I think the Dow Jones is about to be making another high. Depending on the 1 hour, of course. Yeah, it might just consolidate, actually. Consolidate in that range. Not another high. 2 hours is about to be breaching down. So yeah, only the 30 minutes are looking good, but everything else is looking kind of bad on the Dow Jones. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Lucid Trading. Tap that like button if you had a good morning, and for good luck as well. Just checking here what's happening in the live chat. What are your favorite dip buys right now? My favorite dip buys, I'm going to go back to C3.ai. This is not financial advice, and I am not a financial advisor. But what is that volume coming in? Look at that. Do you guys see that volume? That is crazy. Was that yesterday? What the hell? Okay, there was negative volume. Okay, some people sold off here. Lots of volume came in there. I personally am still buying the dip with C3.ai. I think this company is, while it is not looking super attractive, it's looking attractive. And it has a great future, great growth prospects. The thing with this company is, at any moment during this year, they could get a contract that could be worth a significant amount. It would increase earnings by a substantial lot. And you'll see the growth rate suddenly pops up from 20% to 60%, which has been the case last year and the last years before that. So I would not be surprised if they would suddenly get contracts out of nowhere. Well, not out of nowhere, you know, they're investing into their marketing, which could get them some proper contracts. But yeah, I'm still looking at this one to be buying the dip here, mainly because technicals are still looking fine with C3.ai. It seems like it's not going to cross here. RSI very low on the 4 hours. Daily chart about to cross to the upside, which is fantastic. I'm expecting it to be reaching the 120s, 130s short term. If we're lucky, if the markets are on our side, definitely to the 140s and 150s. I personally like AI stock a lot. Market cap of 8.3 billion. Although the market cap to revenue is a bit, a little bit off. But you have to think about it this way. C3.ai is the kind of stock that it's similar to Palantir in a way that people don't care too much about the multiples that they're seeing. It's more about the fact that they have next level technology and they're going to be scaling up really fast. Anne is coming in with a $5 donation. Appreciate it. Good morning, Gara. Please check on SEEL and Ride. You're awesome. Thank you so much. You're awesome, and I think you're awesome. Appreciate the donation. Let's check out Sealos Therapeutics. What is the market cap? I thought so, because the movement is very sporadic. You don't see this with big market caps, like huge moves like that. What can I say about this? It's already pointing downwards here, of course. You can already notice that. And it's not sitting like at low levels. It's been running up for a while. Although we saw this dip here, it's been... Yeah, I don't know what the news around this company is, but something came in probably. I think it was earnings being substantially better than expected, maybe. What's the weekly looking like? Yeah, I can't say a lot about the weekly either. Yeah, I think I have to go off the 30 minutes then. 30 minutes and 1 hour. Yeah, so I would expect it... What I would expect here is... It could definitely move sideways for a while after that big, massive movement. One second. It's a little bit extended. That's what we notice as well. And if we just... Oh, beautiful, in one line. Fantastic. Okay, we have that going on for it. And if we use the horizontal ray... Yeah, this could act as a support. And I think if the Nasdaq pulls back up, You know, it is negative right now, 1.9% to the downside. If the Nasdaq, it's going to be very reliant on that, I think, because this is a growth stock probably. It could definitely kind of consolidate and rally upwards to that $5. But that's if the Nasdaq goes back up, which I'm expecting it to be happening. So that's why I'm drawing it so optimistically. But if it plummets, of course it's going to go down. So it's like an up and down situation. But I think the probability of it heading back up is quite high here. Well, if this is not the case, like worst case scenario, it could definitely drop back to $3.2. Not, yeah, I mean, worst case, it goes back to this zone here, 2.6, 2.5. But yeah, I'm expecting some upside here. Yeah, it skyrocketed here. It almost doubled. That is crazy. So yeah, SEEL and RIDE. Let me check RIDE for you. The market is going to go open in about 17 minutes from now. And wow, RIDE is sitting very low. What's the market cap now? 2.5 billion. But they don't have any revenue, so that's fair. I would expect them, you know, earnings was bad, wasn't it? Earnings was kind of bad. Yeah, so it's kind of going down in a kind of it's a ladder going to the downside here. 4 hours looking quite terrible. Yeah, there could definitely be a tiny bit more downside. I don't think there's a whole lot of downside left, just basing it off of technicals. RSI almost on every single time frame, just super low. Let's check the 1 hour. Yeah, same story here. I'm very tempted to just say that it's looking bullish, but it is sitting at a support zone, isn't it? Yeah. You know what? I'm just going to be a little bit conservative because I'm not trusting this short-term stuff here. I'm going to say that RIDE could potentially fill the gap completely to this $13. So that could be a possibility. Let me check the 15. Yeah, it might go down in this kind of fashion. And then head back up. Oh. And kind of consolidate at that zone. At the $15. Possibly, once it reached here, could kind of move in this fashion to the upside. Which would, you know, either by the end of March or I would say middle of April, probably rally back up. So I do think the $13 will be the bottom here, given the technicals on almost every time frame signifying a lot of bearishness. Roughly 15 minutes left. Moment of truth coming in. Nasdaq is looking bullish. At least I would say it could bounce here. It could bounce very hard to the upside, given the current technicals. Oversold, very oversold. A bit of an overreaction, I would say. So yeah, I think we might see it go up for open. That is my expectation right now for the Nasdaq. And if that happens, of course, growth and tech stocks will be looking quite solid. What if we don't what if we don't bounce? If we don't bounce, if the Nasdaq doesn't bounce, that would be kind of problematic. The next support zone would be sitting at 12,880, but worst case 12,770s. Yeah, I think it would be very weird if it doesn't bounce here. Because that would invalidate the uptrend. If it doesn't bounce, it's going to invalidate the uptrend completely. That would mean we are now officially in a downtrend if that happens. But for now, I'm still expecting it to bounce back up. Gold is going down rapidly. Look at that. Gold heading down. Bitcoin heading down. This is because the dollar is skyrocketing. Look at that. The dollar going up really fast. Could we have seen this coming? Yes, the MACD crossed. So yes, we could have seen this coming. How much will this last, though? I mean, it doesn't seem like it's going to last, does it? Yeah, it is. It's looking like it's going to pop even more. That is looking kind of bad for the markets here. So far, so good. But this is mainly because yields are skyrocketing. You know, yields 1.75 right now, and it keeps going up. However, keep in mind, sitting in the overbought zone, MACD sitting at the highs, right? So not a whole lot of room left there. I previously did say that yields could potentially go to the 1.8 on the short term, and then it would just flatten out. It would just straight up go flat for weeks. And when that happens, that's going to give the Nasdaq and growth stocks some room, because it has to stable out. It has to be stable. It doesn't have, like, if it keeps skyrocketing, that would be bad news. It's a little bit uncertain. Palantir and AI could be plunging another 15. I don't know about that. We'll see. I don't think that's going to be the case here. Although I think AI has been sort of sitting flat. No, okay, it's down 2%. AI is now 78.8 at the moment. So I would say there's some truth to that. But yeah, of course, I mean, if the Nasdaq is down 1.6%, it is going to stay at lower levels. What is happening with Palantir at the moment? Palantir's also down 2.2%, which is a bit surprising. Palantir down 2.4%. Down quite a substantial amount here. And the Nasdaq is slightly pulling back up. Very slightly. Very, very slightly. What is more important is yields have to go down, or either go down or not keep going up. One of the two. Yeah, so far that has not been the case. It's just been moving to the upside. Although it might be pulling back on the short term. So yeah, I could definitely see the Nasdaq go up right before the market opens up, or right after it. 11 minutes until the market opens, and so far everything seems to be quite negative. Tesla sitting at 680, XBank sitting at 35. What's happening with the big banks? Big banks are up. Rotation coming in again. More JP Morgan is going up 1.6. Goldman Sachs is down 0.5%. Morgan Stanley is up 1.5%. So looking quite bullish there. Let's go back to Coca-Cola sitting flat. Verizon sitting flat. Procter & Gamble sitting flat. Right, so the value stocks are not performing any better. It's just mainly big banks going up because they're benefiting when these yields are heading up. Powell ensured as that yields wouldn't break 2.2. Well, I mean, he can ensure us anything he wants, but if yields are going up 6.14% in a day, that is definitely going to be sparking some fear. So yeah, 6.14% in a day, right? It's a massive run. It's very similar to what we saw here. Hold up. What's happening with Apple? Apple's down 1.6% again. It's getting a bit ridiculous here. It goes up 2%, goes down 2%, goes up 3%, goes down 2%. We're not seeing consistent moves. So far, it's just been staying at this level for literally like a month now. How is the 4 hours looking like? Yeah, 4 hours, that is negative, right? That MACD cross there, that's not what you want to be seeing here. Could definitely mean it could go sideways for a while until it bounces. Daily charts, although, you know, 4 hours not looking that attractive. Daily chart still indicating big move is, well, this big move is going to keep moving. $2.094. What's happening with Alphabet? Alphabet is about to cross as well. So there you go. That's the arrow that we drew. It's actually heading to that point. I wouldn't be surprised if Alphabet reaches an all-time high here. A $5 donation coming in from Arfan Bhatti. And he says, good morning, sir. What is your 3-month view with Bitcoin? All right, I'll answer that question here. So with Bitcoin, it's also going to be important to look at the dollar. And for a 3-month view, maybe a weekly view on the dollar is going to be nice. I mean, it seems like the dollar is just going to keep on creeping to the upside. At least on the weekly and on the monthly, I would say that's the case. Daily chart, not looking particularly bullish, but hold up. Let me just grab a trend line, see if I can kind of determine what is happening here. Yeah, so the trend to the downside has already been broken. So we're in a bullish trend for the dollar so far. As the dollar goes up, you know, Bitcoin has been running up because the dollar was going down substantial amounts, right? Yeah, so if the dollar starts going up, starts moving up more and more, that's going to be bad for stocks, for Bitcoin. So I would say the 3 coming months, I expected one last move. I've said this several times here. I expected one last move to the upside until it actually plummets a significant amount. And we're seeing a lot of weakness right now. As in, we're not breaching all-time highs. Yeah, I would say beginning of April, middle of April, that's where I would see it top out. So we'd see another big move, possibly hit the 80,000s. Something like that wouldn't be too surprising. One more move to the upside, and then it plummets completely. This is just a guess right now. I did take a look at the fundamentals when the halving started recently and the patterns, but this is my own guess. Beginning of April, mid-April, tops out, and then it plummets. Yeah, you can even see on the weekly how overly exaggerated it looks like. And even on the monthly, if you compare the RSI, look at this. I'm going to show you full screen. This is the RSI. Every single time it reached those levels, Bitcoin topped out. And it actually corrected like more than 50%. So we're right at that level. We're about to get to that RSI level where it will top out. And it's going to get ugly. It's going to get very ugly. It happened in 2013. It happened in 2016, 17, and it's going to happen again in 2021. And I think we're a couple weeks to a couple months away from this. So in a 3-month horizon, if it doesn't crash beginning to mid-April, I would say by the end of the 3-month horizon, Bitcoin would have already crashed down. Quite a substantial amount. All right. So that would mean... Let me check. I'll have to check the daily chart for Bitcoin. The markets are going to go up in about 4 minutes. So this is my worst case scenario where like, oh, okay, it keeps going up and up and up and up. Beginning of April, end of or middle of April, tops out, and it would plummet back to the 35,000-ish. Something like that. If it's not like this, it's going to take probably until May. But yeah, I'm expecting the bubble to be popping. I do think Bitcoin is great. I do think it's right now sort of in a bubble. Because everybody's buying Bitcoin. People that don't know anything about Bitcoin are buying Bitcoin. And this happened again in 2017 or 2016, I believe. In 2013 kind of happened there as well. So I'm expecting Bitcoin to come down substantially after the 3-month period. All right. So it seems like the Nasdaq is pulling back up as expected. Like I said, right around open, potentially bounce up. And it's sort of bouncing up now, slightly. This is happening as yields are going down and the dollar is still up 0.46%. Do you think it will go to 100,000 before tops? I don't think so. I don't think it's going to reach 100,000. All right. Oh yeah, smash the like button right before the market opens for good luck. I would appreciate that. Let's get to 150 likes. There you go. Tesla's down 2.5% now. It is looking pretty good. XBank down 2.8%. Nasdaq is having a tough time pulling back up here. 2 more minutes until the market is going to go open. I am very curious. I really wonder what is going to happen at market open. 2 more minutes left. I'm going to grab my phone here. Hold up. Gonna check what's happening with C3.ai. Sitting at 78.5 now. It cannot stop going down. It has to go down. 1 more minute left until the market is gonna go open. And so far, everything is still sitting kind of flat on the lower side of things. I'm going to grab my portfolio just in case, just to see what's happening here. It's about to plummet because C3.ai decided to plummet as well. 30 seconds left. Brace for impact. Here we go. Couple seconds left. Nasdaq pulling back up right before open. You can see that right here. Slightly pulling back up. Let me grab the 5 minutes. There you go. Oh boy. Yes. Okay. Recovering slightly. Markets are open. And the Nasdaq is coming back up. Just like I said previously. Let's see if it's going to push that resistance. Is it pushing above that? Tesla 684. XBank 35. Neo 43. AI at 78.9. Pound at 24.7. Oof. Looking very red today. Meanwhile, the banks are going up. Goldman Sachs up 1.5%. JP Morgan up 1.9%. So big banks are profiting from this quite substantially. But despite that, we see yields. Yields are still sitting flat at that level, not skyrocketing anymore, which is really positive. And the Nasdaq is pushing higher. Like I said, it was not going to stay at those levels. I didn't think it was going to breach that. And everything is so far trying to push higher. And yeah, look at that. C3.ai is actually pushing higher. It's actually, I think it's going to go above the 80s. It pushed above the 13,000s. If it holds this, that would be very positive. And it is pulling back so far. Yeah, we need the Nasdaq to just stay above the 13,000s. Should I sell C3 down? I think C3 is like still looking great. The fact that C3 is just sitting flat is good, I would say. Because there are many stocks out there that are going down. You know, and C3 is kind of sitting flat around the 80s. Just a little bit below these the 80s right now, 79.58. There's a gap to be filled there as well. Man, it's looking oversold on almost every time frame. can't believe what is happening with this stock. Yeah, the problem with C3.ai is that there's no press coverage of this, no nothing. No contracts. The same way with Palantir, right? Palantir just kept getting contracts. That's why it went up so much. Hold up, let me just... Yep, my portfolio's down because of C3.ai. It's a normal happening now. Public portfolio is doing just fine. Pretty much full with Palantir, to be honest. Like, that's the public portfolio right now. Which, you know, both Palantir and C3.ai are suffering here. Unfortunately enough, but I do think the Nasdaq is about to be breaking out to the upside. So by the end of the day, if we're lucky, we could see the Nasdaq go positive. Bitcoin is plummeting, really. Yeah, it's not going down that much, so it's not like impressive amounts. It's going down a slight amount. I mean, Bitcoin will be just fine, I think. C3.ai to $60. No freaking way it's going to go to $60. Like, no freaking way. I don't think it's going to go to $60. No way. No way it's going to go to $60. That's like having Palantir at like $15 or something. And that's not going to happen either. Or if Palantir like $18 or $20, I mean. I highly doubt that. We're like at the bottom zone of C3.ai. Once we see the Nasdaq rallying again, we're going to see C3.ai rallying as well. What's happening to the daily on C3.ai? Yeah, very, very close. Very close to a MACD cross. If that happens, you will see it rally so substantially, you'll be surprised. Speaking of rallying, the Nasdaq is now coming back up. This is the 30 minutes. Like I said, before the market opened, there's a high probability that the markets were going to run to the upside because of the fact that yields are looking like they're topping out. As that is happening, we're seeing the Nasdaq run. And it's going to keep running. It's not going to stop. So potentially at the end of the day, we could see the Nasdaq green. There you go. Oh boy, it is starting to plummet again because you see, I think it's with yields. Yields are every slight push to the upside at this level, it's having an effect on the Nasdaq. What happened? Why is the market red on opening? Well, yields are skyrocketing. That's a thing. That's having a major impact on growth and tech stocks. Also having an impact on bank stocks, right? Banks are going up 2.1%, 1.8%, 1.5%. Every single bank out there sitting at all-time highs. Or at least very close to all-time highs. They're gapping up. Although I do believe they're all looking kind of overbought. A little bit overbought. The big banks. But on the 4 hours, definitely could see all those banks keep going up here. Let's see what's happening with Berkshire Hathaway. Oh, wow. Look at that. What is happening here? It went to 408,000 and it's now down. Huh, what is that? Has it not updated yet? Okay, so Berkshire Hathaway not doing so well right now. ARK is not doing so well either. Sitting roughly, I would say, more than 20% from its all-time high. This is happening as the Nasdaq, the S&P is sitting at all-time highs, right? So they're not performing that well in comparison to the S&P. And even in comparison to the Nasdaq. Recently, of course, I mean, they have been outperforming both the Nasdaq and the S&P for a very long time. AI, look at that. AI going back to the 80s. Hey, there we go. Like I said, AI is very cheap. It was very cheap and it's going to keep being cheap. So I am bullish on this one. This is one of those companies that could easily 10x in the decades ahead of us. That's why I'm so bullish on it. They provide such value that companies will have to cater to them. Same with Palantir. I think they're kind of competitors, but AI has a different kind of system. They are, I think they use machine learning more. That's why they're called AI. Machine learning is a crucial part of AI. What is happening here? Richard Brewer is coming in with a $3 donation. Says, what do you think about Palantir? I personally, I'm playing Palantir until the demo day. So there's a demo day coming up, the 14th of April. I'm expecting significant moves until that demo day. So demo day is going to be roughly at this zone. And I would say it could move up in one straight line like that. But I think what's most likely going to happen is going to kind of be cyclical, you know, kind of move in this fashion. And then we'll see a parabolic move. But let's just draw it in one line for the simplicity of things. Yeah, I could see it move back to the 40s just for the demo day. How that move is going to play out? Well, of course, it could take twists and turns, but I think it could hit that 40 for demo day again. And we would see a lot of speculation once again from Wall Street Bets. They're going to hype things up. But yeah, that would be roughly a almost like 60% move to the upside. But that is currently what I'm thinking. You know, there could be twists and turns. Could head up to the 30s, consolidate here, and then gradually go up. But what also could be happening is just sideways movement here, and then as we get closer to demo day, it just moves, which it usually does, right? That's what we saw right here. It's what we saw right here. So that's how Palantir generally tends to move to the upside. It's just significant boosts, pumps to the upside. Gara, did you see the leaked video that explains Palantir software and how it's used? I've seen everything. Everything Palantir. I've seen it all. But yeah, I think this one is the most reasonable one, where it just kind of pumps to the 30s, so kind of goes sideways, and then as it gets closer to that demo day, it just massive rush to the upside. That's been what I've been expecting. Oh my, how is this that the Nasdaq is pulling away like this every single time? What's happening with yields? Yields are not even going up at this point. I mean, they have gone up, but slowly coming down here. And it's about to cross down, about to cross the MACD. RSI super high, expecting that to be coming down here. The dollar is coming down, which is good. Very good, I would say. Tesla's coming down 3.16%. AI below the 80s again. Wow, that goes really fast. End of the day, Nasdaq to 13,500, please. I don't think that's going to be happening, but maybe in the coming week, we could see something like that. Coming week, yeah, definitely. I mean, next week, I'm expecting the Nasdaq to be in that zone. But it will also depend on tomorrow. I mean, we have quad witching happening tomorrow. Will be quite interesting to watch. Hey, Gara, check Riot, please. Let me check Riot for you. Oh, there you go. Riot blockchain, 61.7. Yeah, I was bullish on it right here. What happened here? Oh yeah, the FOMC kind of Oh no, Bitcoin actually went down. Unfortunately enough. Riot is about to be crossing down. And looking a bit unpredictable here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check Bitcoin for this, to be honest. Nasdaq is pulling back up, which is good news. As the Nasdaq pulls back up, we see C3.ai selling once again. Very strange. It pumps and then it dumps right away. Crazy movement. The crazy part about this is happening as it got devalued from that 178. Yeah, it was just, that price was just way too high, to be honest. Palantir is also heading down. And the Nasdaq pulling back simultaneously. Yields are pulling back. The dollar is pulling back, so don't see any reason for the Nasdaq to keep dumping here. What do you think about XPeng? Yeah, well, XPeng, I would say 17.5 billion market cap. It's still undervalued. It is still undervalued. Like I said in the past, I'm expecting huge moves coming for XPeng. Although the 4 hours looks absolutely terrible. That is the only thing bothering me here. The 4 hours looks just not good. Yeah, but despite that, I mean, what's happening on the daily chart? Yeah, the 4 hours looks way too terrible for any kind of move to the upside here. Initially, it has to initially either come down or consolidate. And my expectation is that 33.5 could be hit again. And then a significant move. Might be as large as this move here. It's going to brush that 38. Probably get to the 42 at that point. This is by the end of the month on XPeng. And it will all depend on the Nasdaq, which is now still plummeting, right? Still holding the support. But everything looking really green here around growth and tech. And big tech is also selling off. But yeah, the banks, look at that. JP Morgan is up 2.6%. Goldman Sachs up 2%. All the banks skyrocketing right now. I really want to short them. But I think that's a bad idea right now. Yeah, banks are skyrocketing here. Let's compare it to the .com. What happened to the .com? Okay, interesting. Banks went up substantially in the .com when the Nasdaq went down. I do remember that. I've had looked at both charts. Let me just grab the Nasdaq. Oh. No, this is not it. Let me check. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that is looking so similar. So what I'm talking about is that the Nasdaq topped out at 4,800 and it dropped roughly. It was 30%. It was a very, very large amount. It dropped. About 30%, 35% it dropped. This was March of 2000. What happened with banks? Banks also dropped, but then we saw banks recover really, really robustly because probably yields went up back in those days as well. Maybe we can grab the yields here. See, maybe if we can go back to May the 30th. Because that would make a lot of sense. May the 30th of the 2000s. Were they in this similar situation? Hey, look at that. Hey, look at that. Yields went up massively until May. And guess what else went up? The big banks at that time. So it is a little bit similar. It's kind of weird how that is similar. Really weird, actually. Hopefully it doesn't get much worse. Oh god, it gets much worse. All right. Yeah, the Nasdaq is pulling back even more now. There's some similarities with what we're seeing right now and the .com. It's kind of scary. But the thing is, we are not seeing the same percentage downturns as back in the .com. Not even close to that. This was just a 10% correction. Yeah, big banks are going up really rapidly. It's kind of concerning, almost back to back going up. Not on fundamental reasons. It's not like the business is performing better. Well, the assumption is that as yields go up, they can get more out of their loans. So yeah, then it would be a fundamental reason. Yeah, banks are still heading up. Let me check Nike. Nike is doing well. Has earnings today. Technicals on the short term looks like a breakout is about to occur. Long term, it looks bad. At least midterm, 4 hours. We'll see. Yeah, earnings is going to be quite crucial. Nasdaq's still negative here. Martin Skjovist coming in with a 20 Swedish krone donation. Gara, if I come to Amsterdam, can I buy you a beer? It would really depend on my schedule. But if I would have the time, sure, why not? Let's see. But I think in terms of traveling restrictions, it's we have really, really tight rules here in the Netherlands. It's kind of crazy. It's very unfortunate. Hopefully they're going to remove the restrictions. Oh, I don't think I missed anybody's donation here. Oh my god. AI sitting at 78 now. And this is as the Nasdaq is plummeting even further. SPX, the S&P, falling back down as well. Dow Jones even going negative. Dollar rising, yields rising. Yep, this is not going to be a positive day. I highly doubt that today is going to be a positive day unless something changes with this coming in. I thought it might change here. It might go back green. But that would take it would take some catalyst, right? Could be wrong, but yeah. Because yields are still heading up, not flattening out. So it might be that today is another negative day, and then tomorrow might be a positive day. What is happening with cola? Is there anything specific happening here with cola? It's going down 0.5%. And Pepsi is down a percentage point. 182 billion market cap on Pepsi. Coca-Cola has a slightly bigger market cap. So far, it's not breached the support here for a long time, but it's just looking so bad on the 4 hours. And it's a matter of time when it's going to bottom out, but and draw more arrows to the upside on the Nasdaq. Look at that. C3.ai sitting at 78.6. It's about to create lower lows, right? Even lower than what we have seen previously. Definitely possible now. RSI has been sitting at this level for almost a month. Crazy, right? It's been like, look at that RSI. When have we ever seen something like this? It's just artificially being put at that place. I really think so. I have not seen something like this for a long time. Maybe with Nikola I saw this, but RSI at that low level for such a long time. Can we see this at any other stock? Does Palantir have this? No. Does CCIV doesn't have that? Although for a brief time period, it did. Yeah, okay, there you go. But they're all going up, right? But with AI, it's not. It's just still at that low level. The ones that have seen this kind of movement on the RSI, they've already gone up. They've already seen some upside. Woodlands Fuel Limited coming in with a £5 donation and says, Neo. Let's check Neo right now. Artificially, yeah, I think it's being shorted right now. I think C3.ai is genuinely being shorted by quite a bit right now. I think if you would check the short interest, it would probably be sitting at 20% right now. Would not be a surprise. I'll check out Neo at the moment. I said it was going to go up after a little bit of a downwards move. It proceeded to head down in the pre-market. This was, of course, caused by the spike in yields, which pulled back the whole market. But I'm still positive on Neo. Regardless, still positive on Neo. Just going to have to see. What is happening here on the 1 hour? that looks kind of weird. Let's see. So far, it looks like it's in a downtrend, right? To be really honest, it looks like it's in a downtrend on the short term. Just trading in that channel. And on the daily chart, still bullish, right? Momentum is still bullish. RSI has plenty of room to the upside. We just need the Nasdaq to stop plummeting every single time the yields go up. But that's too much to be asking right now. So what I could say, just based off what I'm seeing with yields, it might be a situation where it just stays in this channel for probably another day, maybe Monday, depending on yields. So much is dependent on yields right now. Because, of course, Neo is a growth company. It's a tech company, kind of, which is going to be affected by yields. Oh. Why is it not crossing, though? That is a strange experience. Let me check at the 15 minutes. Is the 15 minutes bullish? No, not really. Yeah, I would say it's going to move kind of flat in this zone. Oh, I didn't want to do that. There you go. Might move flat in this zone for today and maybe even tomorrow. So it might go up in the short term, hit resistance at 45, come down slightly, kind of move in this fashion, break out eventually. But we're going to need 4 hours to look a lot better until that's going to be happening. So this could be next week, that breakout. So roughly kind of move in this fashion. This is only going to happen if yields don't go up next week, which it does look like yields are topping out right now. Like we're seeing the brunt of it. But only time can tell, so we'll see what happens next week. But yeah, for now, I would say that the 50s would be a target I would set for next week, mid to beginning of next week. But until then, some sideways movement could be possible. It would also be healthy. And yeah, we would see a proper MACD crossover there. It's either going to, stay at that 50s, or it's going to touch the 50s and come back again, which would be highly likely in this current market that we're seeing. XBank. Whoa. What is happening with XBank? XBank is deciding to go up here. It was not looking that good, though. I don't know. It still doesn't look that good. Short term, right? Do think it's looking good on the long haul, but... yeah, so far so good. XBank is skyrocketing without any particular reason on the short term, but it doesn't need a reason. I mean, it's XBank looking pretty good. Going up 1.2%. Maybe some of those institutional investors thought that XBank was a value stock, so they accidentally put their money in it, and they're gonna pull it out. I don't know. Who knows? That would be kind of nutty. CEO of AI sells 484,000 shares. But that's old news, though. That's already happened. I think that's already happened, right? The CEO selling AI stock. I think it already did happen. Let me check if there's new news about this. Oh my gosh. He sells another 484,000 shares. You're kidding me. You're joking me, right? What? You're joking me. This is happening back to back now. Oh, so he did this on March 15th. The stock has sold at an average price of 87.5 for a total value of 42 million. Following the transaction, the chief executive now owns 2.3 million shares in the company, valued at approximately. So the CEO only owns $204 million worth of shares. That is so strange. Why is he selling? He already sold previously. He's selling again. Oh, interesting. So I think he doesn't think the company is valued at that level or something. I don't know. Clearly. Yeah, like if the CEO sells like this, like he owns like what, $200 million worth of C3.ai stock? That's like how much of the percentage? Like 10%. It's like 2% or something of the float. A couple percentage points of the float. That is bearish. Yeah, it should be plummeting. It should be plummeting. I own C3.ai stock. This is not looking good. Why is he selling off so much of his? Because he has money. It's not like Thomas Siebel he has a lot of money. His net worth is like 4 billion or something. Thomas Siebel net worth. He has a net worth of $4.8 billion. Why the hell is he selling? You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense. It's not like he needed the money. Apparently, he thinks that the stock is overvalued. Because else he wouldn't be selling. So that is very negative news. It's going to send the stock, like, plummeting. Like, yeah, pretty much. I don't think it's over then. And back to back, right? It's not like one time. It's like the second time or third time that he's doing this. I think he's selling because he doesn't believe in it. Oh my gosh, horrible, horrible this. I'm not gonna sell. I'm not gonna sell yet. But yeah, this is not good. This gives short sellers an opportunity. Really weird that he's selling. You'd expect, you know, if you're like worth $4 billion that you wouldn't sell. But he's selling. Maybe he's building a new company. He's an investor too. No, he's like 68 years old. This is the last company he's going to be building, all right? Oh, gosh. This is horrible. And, yeah, well, the Nasdaq is still plummeting. Yeah, I find it a little bit sketchy. I don't know what to think about this, to be honest. With the CEO selling this much... Yeah, everybody's getting rid of their C3.ai. If the CEO is doing this, then that is not instilling confidence. He sells 484,000 shares. How many shares does he own? Following the transaction, the chief executive officer now owns 2.4 million shares in the company. That is like what? 204. That is a very, very small percentage of the amount of shares right now. That's roughly, if I get this right, 10%. Is that 1/4 of 10%? He has 2.5% of the company. Is that a large amount? I don't think so. I think he's gonna get out of it at some point. I'm gonna have to check another thing here. Yeah, Palantir, for example, Alexander Karp owns about 8% of Palantir. Thomas Siebel owned roughly that amount, like 5 to 7%. He sold out. He sold out half his stake, like an enormous amount. Yeah, we're gonna see a lot of negativity around C3.ai. I'm not gonna cut my losses, but I don't think I'm gonna hold it for too long if this is the case. Either they're gonna find a new CEO that does care about this company, or I'm probably going to be leaving it. Why would you sell? Like, it doesn't make sense. You have $4 billion that that you could be using, and then you decide to sell your C3.ai shares. What? Like, at least use that money for the company, but he's probably going to be buying like whatever with it. It really doesn't make sense. Maybe he's retiring. Well, that could be the case. He is 68 years old, so wouldn't be surprised if that would be the case. But who's going to be the CEO of the company then? You know what I mean? Like, who is it going to be? It's not going to be the founder. Yeah, this is kind of worrisome. It's now getting below a market cap of 8 billion. I don't know, man. Ooh. I'm gonna hold. I'm gonna hold this one. We'll see what happens if the Nasdaq recovers, because everything is down. It's not just C3.ai. Palantir's also down. But yeah, definitely the news that freaking Thomas Siebel is selling that much stock in his own company, and he is like a billionaire. That says a lot about the company, I would say. Either he doesn't believe in it, or he, for some reason, doesn't want to be part of it, or... Rick Foisner coming in with a $5 donation and says, thoughts on TKAT? Wow, that is a rocket ship. 367 million market cap. Revenues are not that impressive. I don't know what is happening with this company. Why is it going up so much? Technology services. I don't know what to say about this, to be really honest. Online trading platform that provides state-of-the-art and convenient services for various types of artworks. Is this happening because of NFTs? I don't know. I think it's getting I don't know. This is ridiculous. What is happening here? To be really honest, like, it went up 30x in a couple days. It's gonna come down. I think it's gonna come down. I doubt it's gonna be nope, it's gonna have to come down. Either come down or like substantially consolidate. So my expectation is, let me just delete this. Yeah, I would say come down to 23, 20, 22 at least. I don't know what the reason is why it's going up this much, but yeah. It's an NFT play. Yeah, there you go again. They just got a huge contract. Well, I mean, the RSI is very overbought. MACD is really high. AI is still plummeting. Holy darn it. It's about to create a lower low, right? Nasdaq is down 1.8%, about to be breaching this level. And it seems like we're going to reach the next level here at the 12,800s because the yields are still sitting quite high. And they keep pushing higher. Yeah, I don't know what to say, man. No MACD cross so far. Sitting at $77.8. That is a sweet price, to be honest. Palantir sitting at 24.7. Tesla 675. Look at that red candle. Well, we're seeing the same thing happen. What happened here? It consolidated at that zone and then it started moving. The same thing is happening right now. So if we see a massive green candle either tomorrow or next week, or tomorrow and next week, it's going to look a lot like this correction that we've seen in the past. A lot. It looks so similar. RIP C3, somebody says. Yeah, on the short term, I mean, that is very, very bearish. I mean, the CEO is kind of getting out. It's like, hey, I'm out of here. Like, he's just selling out. Ugh. It's kind of weird. And this is a billionaire. Like, why would he do that? It's like, you've already got like $4 billion and you're deciding to sell the shares of the company that you're working on. I mean, what kind of a message is that going to send? A very negative message. But yeah, I know. We'll see. We'll see what they have to offer. Yeah, I don't think this is bad, guys. I don't think this is super bad or anything like that. I'm going to be real with you. I really do not think that what we're seeing right now is super bad. We haven't broken any strong supports yet. If it would break this level here, yeah, that would be bad. But so far, things are still looking okay. Still looking okay. I'm calm here. This is happening because yields are going up, and yields don't go up forever, right? They don't go up forever. It's a short-term thing. The dollar is still up. And yeah, we'll see if it's going to hold. Wow, C3.ai is it's about to be breaching lows. All-time lows are coming in. Technicals are not helping either. It seems like the MACD could go even more. That is just insane. RSI definitely overbought, but it's overbought for good reasons. We're not seeing that same problem with Palantir. Palantir's still looking good. Snowflake might have some of that as well right now. Market cap. What? Market cap of Snowflake is 48 billion. Are you kidding me, right? Really? It was sitting at like 100 billion more. 110 or 120 billion at some point. It's now only sitting at $48 billion. Crazy. It's absolutely nuts. And the Nasdaq keeps pushing lower. Almost down 2% here. Oh, there you go. Gara, you're thinking with your emotions, but your brain. I hate seeing you like this. Now, I'm actually thinking with my brain and not with my emotions. If I would be thinking with my emotions, I would sell out my position. That's what I would do. Because the emotional response to watching a stock go down like this is, oh my gosh, I have to sell. Well, guess what? The company is still there. The CEO is still there. Nothing is fundamentally changing aside from Thomas Siebel deciding to sell 50% of his position, which might be bearish in the short term, but long term, it doesn't change anything. It does not change the fact that the company is still, I think they're doing pretty good, and they're going to still be doing good in the long term. But yeah, short term, it's bad news, of course. But I'm not going to sell for some short term negativity. That is not how I roll, I would say. Let's see. Dow Jones is heading up, hitting all-time highs here. JP Morgan up 3.2%. Goldman Sachs up 2.5%. And it's not stopping. It's just going to keep going. Morgan Stanley 1.8% to the upside now. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. It is what it is, guys. I mean, it cannot be sunshine every single day, right? Like, you can't have the sunshine every single day. That is not how it works, of course. But yeah, so far so good. Between blackouts and controls, it's not like makes this Yeah, this is crazy. The Nasdaq just keeps going. Wow, that's insane. Yeah, dollar is strengthening up here. 10 years still skyrocketing here, I would say. And I think we hit lows now. We're about to hit lows. There you go, 77.6 on C3.ai. Very interesting moves. I'm going to have to check one thing. 1 second. Nasdaq is pulling back slightly. XBang sitting flat now. It was up, now sitting flat. Neo is down 2.8%. It's going to keep on moving sideways here. AI at 77.9, Palantir 24.7. Looking quite bloody there. But then you go to banks, like everything is red, and then you go to banks, it's like, whoop, every single bank out there. Bank of America. Let's just check it out. Up 4%. That is just ridiculous. It's redunculous. Look at that market cap of 339 billion. Let's see what kind of bank we can get. Yeah, I want to get some US ones. Independent Bank Group up 1.4%. This is a random bank I don't even know about. Let's grab another bank. Bank of Marin up 1.2%. So all the banks are going up substantially right now. Probably no negative bank at this point. Yeah, growth in tech stocks definitely sitting on the lower end of the stick. Pro tip: never check your portfolio. Yeah, I guess. I mean, if checking your portfolio triggers negativity in you, well, maybe that would be a logical decision there. That makes perfect sense. I check my portfolio. I don't mind seeing green or red. Oh, there we go. Do we see all-time lows? We're getting there. We're getting very close to that on C3.ai. Can't believe this. Well, I mean, the 4 hours, we're kind of indicating this for a long time, actually. Seems like the 4 hours was a strong indicator here. If we have to believe this 4 hours, it seems like it's going to go down much more, right? It's going to go down to the 70s. Early, like the 75, 73, might be heading up. But despite all of that, I'm not selling. I do think that C3.ai is going to be coming back up in valuation. Let me check Wells Fargo. Yep, also up 3.5%. It hasn't fully recovered yet, so Wells Fargo is not even close to that level. Also 170 billion market cap. While the Nasdaq keeps pulling away. Unil Garcia coming in with a $5 donation and says YQ. Thank you for that. Let me just check it out. I think it's this one. Oh boy. It is quite interesting. Looks a little bit like the chart that we saw with AI. 1.7 billion market cap. Annual and quarterly revenues. Pretty solid, actually. Technological services, education, and tech. It is right at the support. And I don't think the Nasdaq is going to be looking that negative tomorrow. Probably after what we're seeing here. And it's crossing down again. You can see that here. It's about to be crossing down again. RSI super low. Clear bearish channel here for the past couple weeks. It's been a very negative time for this on. Let me check the daily chart, actually. No, I already had seen the daily chart. Let me check the hourly. Oh, yeah, that looks pretty good. It looks like it could be heading back up to 11.5, maybe even above that, depending on what happens tomorrow. If tomorrow would be like substantially bullish, then yeah. Yeah, for now, I would say it could be moving, maybe not that fast. That would be a bit ridiculous, right? It's like a 10% move. Like in the coming days. Head back to the 11.5. You know, it hit the bottom here. On every time frame, looking very low, and fundamentals look okay. It's not that terrible. It's not like what we saw with certain companies, but yeah, I would expect it to come back up. Please look at Jumia. Isn't Jumia like it's a software company? Oh yeah, we got this wrong. Why did this it didn't go down here, unfortunately, but embarrassing. Why did I expect it to go down? Oh yeah, well the MACD did go down. RSI did go down. It's just the price held up really nicely for Jumia. Let's see. There you go. It didn't quite leave the trend line though. It stayed in that zone and then fell back fell back down. Oh, there's a lot of sunlight coming in, I believe. Yeah, I can see the camera being affected by this. Jumia is down 10%, 4.3 billion market cap. Revenues are solid, but it's going down. This is very, very difficult to tell where things are heading, of course. I think what would make most sense here is for it to continue to go down in this bearish channel and eventually top out. Like that's my opinion on this. Like I think the uptrend is still going to be intact, but might go down a little bit further to the 40s maybe, and then after that start rallying to the 50s and above on Jumia. Has AI reached the lowest lows that we have seen since its IPO? So that would be, yeah, that would be interesting to see if that happens. Seems like that is not happening right now because the lowest price we've seen was 77.11. So it's not going below that level right now. Interestingly enough. I think that volume might have been an insider selling. Is the Nasdaq pulling back up? Yes, it is. Look at that. It's getting into the bullish range again. The bullish channel. This is happening as yields go down slightly. And the dollar is also not heading up more. Hopefully it's going to keep that up. So far, so good. Let me check some prices on the markets. There you go. Okay, C3.ai is sitting at 78.2 now. It's actually updated here. This is happening because the Nasdaq is pulling back up. You can see Tesla at 682 now. And yeah. What is happening to the banks? Wow, JP Morgan up 3.6% now. That is crazy. Is JP Morgan at levels? I don't want to short it at. No, not yet. How much has it gone up? JP Morgan has gone up roughly... Since that bottom, the $70 bottom, it more than doubled. For a bank, that is quite insane. Yeah, there's more coming for these banks. I think they're going to go up a little bit more than this. As we get closer to earnings, they're going to go up a lot more, actually. Although most of the juice that, you know, is already squeezed, there's some upside coming in for JP Morgan and for Morgan Stanley. You can see in a weekly how overbought everything is. The weekly MACD is super high right now. RSI, very high as well. Not looking very attractive, but could see a little bit more upside for earnings. And as these banks fall back down again, I think a lot of that money is going to go back into growth and tech stocks, because they've all plummeted, right? At least that's the assumption here, that it's going to go back into these tech stocks. All right. Why are you buying C3.ai? I'm not buying C3.ai yet. I got it at a pretty cheap price myself. If it goes down to 75, I'll buy more. But that's only if it gets to that level. If it doesn't get to that level, I'm perfectly fine. I'm not down that much, so personally, I can wait like a year or something for the stock to recover. I really do not mind that. That's my time horizon also. I mean, it's a year, roughly speaking. Roberto Polo coming in with a $2 donation. Gara, please check 3M. Thanks, brother. Thank you for that donation. Let me check 3M. See if I can find it here. Oh, yeah. Wow. Producer manufacturing. 110 billion market cap. Dividend is 3%. Ooh. That is interesting. It's a value stock, I would say. They don't really grow that much. It still has this gap is still not filled to the 200, so I think it could extend to that. But once it fills that gap, I would expect it to fall off. So roughly fill the gap, get very close to filling the gap to the 200s. And so that would be continue this rally here. And then fall off, probably, on earnings. You know, that earnings could be... It could be better than expected, but... We'll see. So yeah, it could be running towards that 200, which is going to be filling that gap. Massive gap there. And that is my estimation on this. It's all I know about this company here. So and then probably fall back to the 175. And stocks are starting to plummet. Oh boy. The big cyclicals are rallying on infrastructure. Yeah. The investments that are coming from Biden, I think. One sec. Oh, C3.ai, please. Please, C3.ai. 1.78% down on the Nasdaq. And it's still staying at that level as the dollar keeps rising. That is problematic. Dollar is rising substantially here. Gold is still going down. And stocks are still sitting quite negative. Oof. Big oof. Julio Julio Rodriguez coming in with a $7 Canadian donation. Gara, please check Lulu Earnings next week. Love your work. Appreciate that donation. Let's check Lulu. Is it Lululemon? Oh yeah, there you go. I'll check it out right now. Did go up here, but it didn't quite hold up. Earnings is coming in very soon. That's what we know. Bottomed out quite a bit. Weekly is looking interesting. Although, I mean, we do see that Lululemon, they have 4 billion in revenue, 40 billion market cap, quarterly. Let's say growing quite nicely, despite what's happening around the globe. Previously was sitting at $50 in 2017. But it's been rallying recently. It's been falling in 2000. Let's come back up. Four hours. What's happening there? Yeah, we're clearly in this bearish kind of channel here. This is since probably December. So it's been going down quite a time. What I would expect here, potentially fall back down again to the 290s and then jump. I don't know what's going to happen with earnings, but I think it's going to jump back to the 350s until the end of April. So it could go down here for earnings. I don't know what earnings is going to be like, but I do know technicals are not looking that favorable. So yeah, definitely to the 350s, I would say, very soon. Probably by the end of April. I think that would make a lot of sense. Yeah, you might see the camera lighting up a little bit. It's a lot of light coming in. Let me just briefly close the curtain. Alright, I think that should solve the problem. At least slightly. Alright, there you go. Alright. Let's see what's happening with Tesla. 678.4, 3.3% to the downside. Yeah, still looking quite bad for a lot of these stocks, mainly because of the yields. But like I said, yields are topping out very soon, so maybe, yeah, today could be a negative day because of that. But I'm not expecting it to be like a back-to-back yields going up or something like that. I think tomorrow is going to be more casual. And so far, it seems like the Nasdaq doesn't want to quite leave that trend line, which we drew recently. Because if it does that, it's kind of all the hope that we had is going to be just disappearing. But yeah, so far so good. Where do you see the market in the next 2 to 3 weeks? I would say the market in the next 2 to 3 weeks is going to be very, very green. We're not going to quite see all-time highs, of course, but at least not with the Nasdaq. I think the Nasdaq is going to maybe touch all-time highs, but that would pretty much be it. It's not going to go much further than that. And S&P is going to keep running above the 4,000s. Dow Jones probably running as well, as the economy is going to be reopening. Checking my portfolio. There you go. You said today will be green, and it is completely wrong. I specifically said it's going to be green if yields don't skyrocket. You can look it up. I said it very specifically. It could be a very green day if yields don't skyrocket. Look what happened. This happens. I mean, obviously, it's not going to be a green day if you see yields going up like this. But yeah. It is what it is. You can't control everything and you can't predict everything. But we can predict most of it, probably. Can you guess anything about Nifty? Oh, that's interesting. Haven't done that in a while. The Nifties. The Nifty 50s. Nothing, Well, there's a clear channel, right? It's kind of predictable. Very clear channel here. Yeah, it's moving very predictably since April. It seems like it's willing to consolidate next here and then probably bounce off. So maybe, yeah. In terms of like the Nifties. Very predictable movements. It's kind of funny to watch. Oh wow, look at that. Nasdaq pulling back up almost 0.5%. Impressive. There you go. It's back into the bullish channel. We're playing, baby. We're back in the game. But yeah, some stocks got absolutely destroyed in this move to the downside. I'm looking at you, C3.ai. Pretty much. Kevin Koppel is coming in with a $2 donation. Gara, still think Apple will touch the 130s next week? Thanks. Yeah, I still think that. I do still think this is going to be happening. The fact that we see these massive moves to the on the upside on Apple, that's also an indication. Like, people know it's going to happen because Apple's a great company, and lately their stock has just been plummeting over and over again. Yeah, look at that. It's been bearish since January. Since the end of January, and it's not even that, right? It's been flat for like almost 9 months now. Like, what? It has barely moved since, I would say, what is this, August? Beginning of August? Just kind of moving sideways. But yeah, 4 hours looking kind of negative. Oh gosh. Yeah, that's a bit problematic. So maybe, yeah, if tomorrow could be like another sideways negative day for Apple, would mean next week would be very bullish for Apple. Probably. If not, it's going to be a bit problematic, but yeah, in general, I would say with Apple, uptrend is being upheld. We're still seeing this uptrend. Yeah. And then we have this bearish channel. Which was tonight recently. So we're now in the, let's say, the bullish channel. So probably middle of April, 135. If we're lucky, even further. But this is all going to come down to yields. But I think yields are going to be relatively stable. Yeah, I don't know how often I've drawn this arrow and just been completely denied because of yields just skyrocketing, which just denies everything. Like growth in tech just doesn't do so well. Hold up. One second, guys. Oh man, it is still looking quite bad. Gosh. Just checking one thing. Just give me a second. What did I want to check? Might tomorrow be a very positive day. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna say the same thing that I said yesterday. If yields don't skyrocket, tomorrow is gonna be another one of those days where just flat out green, like 2%, 3% to the upside. It will be ridiculous. That's my expectation for tomorrow. But it's all gonna depend on yields. If yields keep moving, it's gonna have a negative impact. Although it's not having a severely negative impact. I mean, we're not seeing the Nasdaq move, 3% percentage points to the downside every single day. We're just seeing like a 1.5% negative on a daily. That's fine. Yeah, bond yields are getting very high now, like overbought level. I'm not expecting them to be rising much more. I expected Palantir to hit 30 this week. Look what happened. Yields skyrocketed, Palantir completely down. Everything went in the opposite direction. Yeah, I mean, not having to worry about yields was quite a privilege. Yeah, it's gonna look like Palantir's gonna hit 28 next week by the end of next week if this keeps going, or unless it gets like a contract, it could go above 30. But what is the likelihood of that happening at this point? C3.ai doing okay, buddy. I'm not too worried about this. Still not too worried about this. I think it's okay. About to hit the oversold on the daily chart. I mean, there's nothing bad happening with the company in general. So as long as that is the case, I would not be that afraid of what's happening on the stock chart. Let's see. I still don't understand why tech goes when yield goes up. It's because when yields go up, inflation expectations go up, and if that goes up, well, it's a lot of bad stuff happens. That's all you have to know. Because when interest rates go up, because people think interest rates are going up, that is going to have an impact on, getting a loan for a company. And if inflation goes up, that is once again going to have an impact on the money that you earn. Suddenly, that extra money that you're earning because you're a growth company isn't worth that much anymore. And so, yeah, it's going to make it a lot more, it's going to be tough. And the debt that you have to pay is going to be valued more because of inflation as well. So there are several factors associated with yields rising that will have a negative impact on tech and growth stocks. Or just stocks in general that have to get, or companies in general that have to get loans and that kind of stuff in order to actually function. Let us see what's happening here. Let's see what's happening in live chat. $78 on AI. I can't believe this. What if we see like a proper MACD cross, right? I expect, you know, that was a MACD crossover, probably right here. Huge move happened here. So maybe we see something like that again. That was roughly $50. Say it moves like $50. That's like to the 120s. I really can't wait until this is going to happen. If this happens, that would make me very happy. That would be pretty amazing. Gara gonna have hands of steel after C3.ai. Yeah, exactly. I'm just waiting for this move. This is what I'm envisioning right now. Hopefully it's gonna happen. I mean, a move to the 120s. Yeah. That would be lovely. The moment Buffett goes back to bonds is the moment we know the market is dead. Yeah, definitely. C3 is not going to go bankrupt. They have enough cash. C3 has enough cash to just be on its own for literally 10 years, probably. They got $1 billion in the bank. They are good. I'm telling you, it's not going to go bankrupt. They could go bankrupt if they lose all their clients or something like that. But even then, they could burn through for like years. They're going to be fine. They're not even close to being bankrupt. I highly doubt they're being close to that. No freaking way. All right, let's see. Apple is at 122.2. All right, I think not a whole lot is happening right now. So I can't say a whole lot about what is happening here. Although I would say yields are about to be kind of flattening out. We're going to see a period of time where yields are not going up much, which will be very positive for the Nasdaq, which is why I am very bullish on these stocks right here, because when that happens, I mean, obviously, we're going to see some positivity in the Nasdaq going for it. And it's not only that, it's the dollar is also going to see similar things happening here with it. Although the dollar might slowly go up here, we'll see the effect of the stimulus pricing. It's going to be priced into the dollar very soon. My big plays are Palantir, AI, Snowflake, Tesla, Xpeng. Those are my personal big plays. My favorites right now. I think those are going to be exceedingly positive for the coming weeks and months, for sure. Oh, look at that Nasdaq pulling back. Anyway, that is not the only thing going to be pulling back. I'm going to be pulling back right now. I'm going to be taking a bit of a break here. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be live in roughly 3 hours again. So 3 hours from now, make sure you tune in. Subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed yet. Do that right now. I would be really appreciative of that. So tap that subscribe button. Like the live stream if you've enjoyed it so far. Like I said, gonna take a bit of a break, gonna have lunch myself, and we'll be back for round 2. So do make sure you're gonna be here in a couple hours. We're gonna have a good time, and who knows, maybe stocks do rebound, right? Maybe we see everything go green. That could be the case. Who knows, right? It's gonna be interesting. Yields are going down, so it's a very positive phenomenon right now. But yeah, before I go, I'm gonna have to tell you that you have to join the Discord community. You have no choice. It is completely free. Discord link is in the live chat. It's also in the description. So tap that Discord link. Join the community if you haven't yet. We'll see you guys in the Discord community. Also, make sure you follow me on Twitter. There's a Twitter link in the description. And you can also support me through Patreon. Patreon link is going to be down below in the description. And I will be putting it in the live chat as well, and you can get exclusive benefits from the Patreon. All right, is there one more thing? think I wanted to say something. No, I don't think so. All right, I think the markets are looking fine. No market crash. This is still the correction. This is still the market rotation. Everything is going to be looking just fine in a couple weeks from now, and everybody's going to wonder, hey, why the hell were we panicking? That's all I want to say for now. All right. All right, guys. See you guys in a couple hours. This was Lucid Trading. See you guys very, very soon. Good luck trading and dollar cost average. And